Welcome everyone. So today we decided to go through movies that are coming out in the next year, and we're going to also go ahead and do a session of recording on some movie trailers like we did with Elio. With me as always is Paper, Fame, and I am of course Kings.
Lovely to be back at it again, darling. So happy to see we've already got a small following beginning with this little trivial thing we've got going on.
Salutations, everybody. I'm going to be 100% clear. I was more knowledgeable and up to date on the movies coming in and out on DVD release as well as coming out in theaters. I've kind of lost that cycle, especially now where we watched the new Medea trailer, and I'm thinking oh, this is so cool, I'd love to go see this in theaters, and then it's surprise, surprise, no, it's Netflix. It's coming out, but on Netflix.
So many things are streaming now.
Very hard to keep track of.
I personally like to look through what's coming up, see what shows are getting updates for anime, cartoons, and movies. So I
can keep track of the anime.
I tend to stay on top, while Fame is the one that goes to see movies in the theater the most out of the three of us.
I like to go and see movies at the theaters. I love to sit in the chairs, smell the fresh popcorn, have some candy, get a drink, kick back, relax, and enjoy the quality, finer things in life. Don't get me wrong. Streaming is nice, streaming's fun, but it's too much of a hype thing, I guess. It's a fad. Streaming's become a fad, really. And it's kind of one that's gotten really boring as of lately. Yeah, sure, you can stream movies and all that, and you can get to see the newest movies, this, there, that, and that. But what's the point if it's no more fun? Going to the movies was fun. You got to hang out with your friends, kick back, relax. Sure, you were out in public and all, not in the quality of your own home, but it was more along the lines of just going out and having fun. What's wrong with that, people, huh? But yeah, you can stream a movie, but it doesn't beat the fact of being able to go out and be with your friends. Get out of the house for a couple of hours, go see a movie, have a few laughs, etc., etc.
And if I can do a quick little mini rant.
Sure.
I definitely think streaming has hurt certain things, especially TV shows, because people will binge a TV show, consume it so quickly, and then just dump it, move on to this next thing. It's not staying with people anymore. Me, when I again grew up in the 90s, I remember, hey, next Saturday, new episode of Mucha Lucha, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, the new episodes would drop, and if you watch the old episodes, sometimes they would have the rerun play sometime during the week, or if you had a VHS, you do the thing, and then you watch it with your friends, you watch it with family, you rewatch it, and you refresh yourself for the next episode. I miss that. I really do. And some streaming services are trying. They release the episodes weekly or monthly, depending on what they're doing, which I don't think that's the intent to bring that back. I think that's probably a production pulling strings behind the thing of what they can do, but I do miss that, because the binge culture, it's almost one and done, it's gone. Go back and rewatch it, take it in, see it, experience it more. That's what I missed. I really do.
Plus, if you aren't binging it right away from the beginning, then you're more likely to get spoiled nowadays.
Yeah, true, because streaming doesn't really have the same satisfaction, and then it gives away a lot of stuff, because if you see a movie that can be streamed early, and then people are talking about wanting to go see the movie, then you spoil it for everybody else. It ruins the fun, it ruins the adventure, it ruins the authenticity of going to the movies to have a few laughs with your friends and having fun. Yeah, you can tell them early on, oh, I don't want to, oh, you shouldn't go see this movie because of this, that, and that. But who the cares? It's all about going to have the fun. Yeah, you can give your opinion. At the end of the day, it's your opinion. But at the very least, it's still just something that's fun. Movies are meant as sources of entertainment for everybody to get along with and enjoy. They are not meant to be some form of media that is meant to cause a war or fights over God knows what.
And while sometimes those kind of fights can be fun, you need to make sure it stays in the fun zone. What ifs, character versus... Like, honestly, I see people get so mad over, like, well, can Saitama beat so-and-so? Like, guys, with all due respect...
Relax.
Odds are, depending on the rules, it likely will be Saitama, because going by the rules of Shonen, comedy and not just Shonen, like, this is even true in Marvel and DC, comedy characters have tuned physics. They break the rules of reality. The stuff that makes sense doesn't work. Like, that's why the mask is so terrifying, because it's basically tuned physics to the next level of insanity, with no censorship or filter holding it back.
And actually, the Mask movie is tame compared to the comics.
Oh yeah, I'm not like fully versed because obviously I don't have them, but I'm well aware of the lore behind the Mask comics, and I've seen like back and forth if they should make an adult animated going off of the comics, kind of like what they did with Creature Commandos. And if they're gonna give it a college try with the not CG but like straight up classic animation, and they're gonna leave the gore and they're gonna do it right, I'd be down. I'd be watching it.
Exactly. The funny thing about verse battles is that everybody has their own opinions about this and that, or who's strongest, or who can do this and that. Here's the thing, people, that people seem to forget. The person who wins is the person who the author wants to win. And at the very end of the day, the verse battle comes down to not just who has the most feats, not who's the strongest, the fastest, the smartest, the most intellectual. It's a matter of who the author wants to win. That's the funny thing that I just find hilarious about most people who get so heated about verse series or people who do verse shows. Death Battle in particular has become one of those recent things where they do characters who are popular or other things like that, where they just have them fight because they have certain things in common. It's because of how they decide to write the script for the people that want to see it. There are hundreds of different scenarios, 100 different ways that somebody could write characters winning against another character.
All it takes in a fight, honestly, is one action and it can change the outcome. Like, using an example of Batman. In one movie, Batman is given a device that repels bullets. But the problem with the device is quickly found by Batman, because while it stops him from getting shot, he has no control over where the bullet ricochets. Just one little thing can change an entire fight's outcome.
Well, and for me, I remember when like death battles were like almost like first starting, there were like key points they would like leave out, or they would say, we're gonna do like Sasuke versus Hiei, but we're not gonna have like Hiei at the end of the series. Like, if you're gonna set limitations, to me, then that's not like the true death battle. And again, if it's all in good fun, but I have seen like people like, good lord, I remember back in the day, I knew this Naruto fan. They hated One Piece with a freaking passion. They were the type of person that says, Naruto solos everyone in One Piece type crap. No. One, that's an absolute, and that's obviously gonna fall flat on its face. No. But every time like I would bring up and explain like how a devil fruit power works, presented in the show, purely based on the show, not fanon, not video games, because you know video games will take it to a whole other level. But like just purely like what the anime can do. I said like, I'm sorry, like Naruto's not going to beat Boa Hancock, for example. And they tried to like say, does her powers have to touch you? It's like, no, she has the perfume femur. She just has to touch him. And she's fast as hell. She is the top warrior she is the queen of her country. And they're still trying to say, like, well, Naruto is
faster than light, like that.
Yeah, but even then, we have the hockey, and people want to try and, like, ignore the hockey, and, like, no, it's not, like, if you're gonna ignore it, then don't do it. Like, that's why, stuff like that is why I got turned off from the death battles, and stuff like that has gotten worse. It's shifted from Naruto to Boruto, but there are people that will try and say, well, Boruto can wipe the floor with everyone in Black Clover. Boruto can wipe the floor with everyone in One Piece. Boruto can wipe the floor with everyone in Bleach. And it's just like stuff like that. Like, I kind of wish that kind of mentality would have been
lessen.
dead and buried. Because it stops being about, oh, can this character beat this character? No, it becomes a war about the fandoms.
It becomes
where,
a
like,
popularity contest.
Exactly, and that's what I'm not all about. Because if you're gonna do like a death battle seriously, then fine. Fame knows of one anime character in particular that it doesn't matter if it's Anos Voltigode, it doesn't matter if it's Saitama, it doesn't matter if it's Ainzo Gon, it doesn't matter if they're Haruhi Suzumiya, it doesn't freaking matter, because this dude has the power, like, negate everything. Like, he took the color...
That motherfucker! With his own fiction ability!
Yes. He took the color, all color, out of existence in his universe. He was facing someone who used colors as part of their ability, and it's like, what color? All colors were gone from the universe until he put them back, and he kicked his So that's like my thing. This character pretty much wipes the floor with comedy, action, horror. He does, because that's how he's designed. If you're gonna put him up against anybody, anybody's gonna lose. Let's be real, let's be honest. Even if he's not from a major series, if we're going by the rules of both worlds, he wins. Pure and simple.
I'm gonna pull up the list of movies that are coming out by date so that we can look through it. The first movie is coming out tomorrow, Jurassic World Rebirth.
Ooh,
Yep.
I've been waiting for that one.
My family's actually interested in seeing it. I really do love the Jurassic Park movies and World movies. I've enjoyed all of them. From my understanding, this one is pretty much standalone. Like, I don't think the other Jurassic World movie characters are showing up in it.
It is standalone.
Okay.
For me, I'm okay with not going to the theater to see it. It's not high on my Cecilius.
My partner wants to go see the live-action How to Train Your Dragon. From there, if we have time for a double feature, I'd either like to go see Elio or Jurassic World Rebirth, personally. But we'll see what happens with the timings.
40 Acres. I guess I should probably open up the movies and actually see what they say, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yep.
Post-apocalyptic family. Ugh, I hate
Oh
those.
god.
With cannibals.
Canadian farmers. Oh, is it what? Oh,
In a
there it is. There's
post-apocalyptic
cannibals.
world with food scarcity, a black family, the fact they felt the need to specify that.
It happens. It happens.
Canadian farmers descended from Civil War migrants defend their homestead against cannibals trying to seize their resources. No.
Maybe if it comes out in October.
Nope, it's coming out tomorrow.
No, I mean, like, if it comes out on DVD or the streaming services in October, I might watch it for Halloween, but that's not a summer movie. Because obviously it's a horror.
It does not have horror in its genre.
It says
It's
thriller,
a
so
thriller.
that's still scary.
But yeah, that's
Okay.
a pass for me. The next ones are on the 4th. Divine
Soldier.
Soldier.
Of
There's no summary.
course there isn't.
Okay, then. Oh, no.
Tagline:
No.
Unleash the inner power, rise as legends.
You know what? Just because they did not bother to leave any kind of summary for this, I'm gonna say pass on this one.
A $25 million budget.
Estimated. That's what they're hoping they're gonna get at the box office.
No, that's how much they estimate they spent, I think.
What's under the box office?
Look, next is Touch,
That's
a
weird.
comedy family romance.
Meh.
Oh Lord, help me, give me strength.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
In fact, I think our editor needs to blur that picture.
I don't think so. That's
It's a joke.
I don't think they need. Okay.
And no info.
No info on who's
course
in
it
it.
doesn't.
I'll say passed as well.
To give
This is
or not to
IMDb.
give. Reparations for slavery.
No,
Immediate
we're skipping
pass.
this right now.
Yeah.
No, we don't even need to click it. No, we're moving on.
Some we don't need to click because we already know, like the new
Gonna
Superman.
No, thank you.
Okay, so here's the thing for me. I tend to give DC a lot of chances. They keep screwing me, but I try to give DC all the chances they can get. The only thing that I'm kind of curious about in this new Superman, because one, I like Superman. I do.
Gonna be the villain?
Yeah, and you get burned so many times.
It's more one
Alright,
that we would wait to see, not gut rush to the theater.
Probably for like a DVD release, like maybe we'll react to it once it comes out on DVD. This next one's already giving me red flag concerns.
The next several already look like skips for me because they
just get down to July 16th.
Jujutsu Kaisen, Hidden Inventory, Premature Death, the movie.
I knew they weren't done with this series.
So, Fame, question. Is this manga relevant? Like, is this like...
If King could get off the poster and go back to the summary, I was reading that.
Okay.
Once friends, Gojo and Geto must protect... Oh, I see where this is. I know exactly what this is.
Because didn't they do this, like, in Season 2? So is this just like a redo, but with, like, a lot of budget?
It just might... From what I can tell from this, it might be a retelling of when they were younger with a lot more stuff pulled in. Because this looks like all the scenes from Season 2 when we got to see them when they were younger, but I'm also seeing scenes in here that I don't remember seeing.
Basically,
I agree,
if you watch the series, it's worth going to see.
No, hold your horses, King. While it may be true, there could also be some stuff in here that were not originally in the anime, or there is just everything in here and they just turned it into movie format to extend it for longer. I personally would have preferred something more along the lines of seeing what happens after everything is done, because I've read the manga and I'm all caught up on what happens and everything else in between. The time we left...
I have not. I am currently only up to like volume 12 or 13, so I'm actually like literally right at the edge of where season 2 stopped. So everything afterwards, I'm 100% blind.
Exactly. Yeah. The whole thing with it is that, from what I'm seeing of this, it appears to be a retelling of Gojo and Geto's childhood, or at least their teenage years, from when the two of them were still younger and still together, and not being complete and total assholes to one another. Or, you know, when, as everybody wants to call it, when they were boyfriends.
When Goto and Gojo were boyfriends, the movie.
But
exactly.
For me, it's a pass.
Fame, let's keep an eye on this one, and let's kind of see where the dice falls on this.
I mean, I'll watch it with you guys, but it's not one I would go out of my way to watch by myself. To be fair, I very rarely go out of my way to watch anything by myself. But let's go back to the list.
There is something I do want to say on one of these. The I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. I initially thought it was a full-on reboot, but with the casting of one of the original roles from the other movie, it kind of like Scream 4, where it's kind of a reboot, kind of a sequel, kind of like the first Halloween reboot movie. From that point alone, the actress in it is amazing, and I kind of want to see her story finally finish, because after her, they went full supernatural with the killer, and I hated it. I really did.
I'm not much for horror, and I dislike the Smurfs. So far for July, nothing has really jumped for me.
On the Smurfs, like, I'm kind of glad they're giving it another shot. I haven't seen a trailer for this, so I know nothing about it. If you guys would like us to react to the trailer for it, maybe the trailer can change our minds. You never know. But it does look like a full animated Smurfs movie, which I don't think it's a sequel to the other Smurfs movies, but
if new one.
And yet they still travel to the human world.
Do they? Nuts.
And it has
from every trailer I've seen, this is quite literally Gargamel pulls some spell and da-da-da-da. They somehow end up in the real world. They find Smurfs that were over there in the real world. Da-da-da-da-da.
So on to July 25th.
And weirdly enough, I was like never like a Smurfs person. The stuff I grew up on were like the Smurf spin-offs or knockoffs, like the Snorks, pretty much the undersea Smurfs.
My mom personally hated the Smurfs. Of course, she also hated
Okay,
Barney.
I guess I'm just showing my age on that one.
She also hated Barney. I grew up on Tom and Jerry, Scooby-Doo, and Looney Tunes.
I grew up, weirdly enough, on the Richie Rich cartoon, the Snort.
Oh, I remember that.
When like CN had the Boomerang channel, they had all those random
Old schools.
like the old school classics, like Magilla Gorilla, like the Gator.
Cats.
Was it Tomcat or Topcat or
Top Cat?
Thank you. I grew up on those, and then I guess I was more of a CN kid than looking back on it, and then until like Disney became more available, which then I watched like Bonkers and Marsupilami and Chippendale Rescue Rangers, all those on the Saturday mornings.
Nothing quite as good as the memories of waking up early on a Saturday, getting a nice bowl of cereal and sitting down in your pajamas, be it just a t-shirt and underwear or pants, whatever you wore to sleep in, and just enjoying a new show.
Small mini rant right here. Well, more of a story. Something I had to do because when I was on the cusp of like teenhood, preteens, I loved Kids WB and Fox at the same time. And of course, they ran new shows at the same time. So what was a young kid to do? In our front room, we used to have a TV, VCR, DVD player combo. So I would have the VCR recording Kids WB, I would be watching Fox on the main TV. So while I was watching X-Men, Power Rangers, later on Digimon, I would have Pokemon recording in the next room, and I would like, as soon as I was done with Fox Kid, I would be watching Kids WB.
That's something else that kids today will never understand, the hardship of having to pick which you see.
So I guess to be fair, I kind of cheated with my method so I wouldn't miss out, but that was like the ingenuity of the VHS era.
Let's see, July 25th. Why is there so many horror movies in July?
Because summer is the best time to sell horror movies aside from Halloween, because this is when all the kids and teenagers and everybody are out for the school year, and they don't have to worry about going to school the next day to go out to the midnight showing of a horror movie, so they can proudly say, I went there at midnight and saw the show. I should know this. I used to do this all the time during the summer. Me, my sister, and a couple of our friends all went to see motherfucking La Llorona and the Nurse at midnight. God, was it a terrible mistake? Yes, but it was summertime. We did not care. We did not have to go to f***ing school.
I remember.
Wasn't I scared next to
the Nun?
Yes, I terrified to see the Nun? Yes. Was I absolutely horrified to go anywhere near a religious symbol like the Pope's place? Was I absolutely terrified that the literal congregational church itself was possibly hiding demonic activity underneath their very floor? Suffice to say, the Nun very much scarred me for a lot of when it came to religional things. Because if a demon can walk into a church and say, "Oh yeah, that cross is cute. Here, let me turn that upside down. Okay, this is my place now. You're my. I'm done."
Honestly, again, that's why I don't do demon possession movies like Annabelle and all that. I don't need it in my head because I remember things pretty well. And sometimes, like, I don't need certain thoughts flashing in my mind at times. But on the summer horror thing, I actually have like a horror house. It's not like a haunted. It's like actually a thing that like you go into to get scared. And it normally didn't used to run all year round, but they started doing it Bloody Valentine's. But in the summer, like they had that Fear Factory thing up and running. Gravity Falls was right. Summerween should be a thing.
Yeah, I live in North Carolina, and we have enough supernatural hot spots that we don't need a horror house. You want a summer night of horror? Go to the Devil's Trampling Ground.
No, thank you.
See, that's the funny thing. Summertime is the perfect time for like any events like this. Gravity Falls paved the way for Summerween to set up like an early Halloween festival type thing. Horror movies, summertime trick-or-treating, that would be like so fun. Like it could be somewhere within May or in June. Like, have it in June before the 4th of July, because that way you can go out with friends, see horror movies, go trick-or-treating, Summerween, Halloween parties. See, if people started taking stuff from cartoons and turning them into a real thing, we would start a revolution. Summerween. You'd have people selling early Halloween decorations for this stuff. More horror movie franchises would capitalize on this and turn it into the Summer of Horror Fest. Like literal showcases of horror movies during the summer. Forget holiday movies. Make your horror movies more geared towards the summer. That's where the real horror comes from, because summer is the time where people travel, they go out in the world, they see different things, experience different things. I literally follow at least 20 dozen YouTubers who all go out to different haunted places. I can't tell you how many of them have gone to the Conjuring house, how many of them have gone to the Goatman Bridge, how many of them have gone to so many horror-specific haunted places that I've quite literally just been like, okay, let's play a game of spot what's real and what's fake. And let me tell you, with how many bottles of water I go through when playing this game by myself of spot what's real and what's fake, I very much would be drunk if I decided to use the bottles of sake I've got in my fridge.
But the Fantastic Four, the MCU lost me after Endgame. They really did. Endgame
See, my main issue
was perfect, but it just, everything after does not stack up as well.
My personal issue is the fact that we've remade the Fantastic Four like 3 times now. And while I've seen people talking about, oh, well, this is going to be different, this is the one, because they've got the characters right this time, and at least in terms of like their powers and abilities. Sue Storm no longer gets a nosebleed whenever she makes a force field, and now her powers look like actual force field because it's like reflecting light when she uses her powers from the trailers, and we got to see Reed stretch and all that other stuff. But another thing that came up is what people are really throwing a fit on is the fact that the Silver Surfer is a woman. Okay, before anybody attacks us in the comment section, I'm going to tell you this right now. Do y'all know that the Silver Surfer actually was a woman in the comics? Because if not, go look it up. It's a thing. Learn to read the comics before you want to talk online and try to go out after, oh, they're doing this wrong and that wrong. No. There was, in fact, a time where the Silver Surfer had a pair of boobs. Not a pair of pecs, a pair of boobs.
Which, and apparently, from my understanding, the Herald of Galactus could be anybody.
Yeah, he can pick and choose as he pleases.
So, like, even then, I'm 100% blind. I have not seen the trailer. I didn't even know the Silver Surfer was gonna be a woman. I didn't know the Silver Surfer was gonna be in this movie. It's not a spoiler issue. Like, I'm fine, because odds are it's a 50-50 shot if I even get to see this movie or not. I am kind of on the side with Kings. Outside of the MCU TV series, Loki, Agatha All Along. Seriously, if you have not seen Agatha All Along yet, even if you haven't seen WandaVision, it doesn't matter. But seriously, go watch Agatha All Along. It's a treat and a half. The animated What Ifs, those are also a treat. I haven't got to watch all of the new season yet, I don't think. I think I'm missing a couple episodes. But when it comes to the series, I think the MCU is doing really well, which I think they need to like stop making so many movies and focus more on the TV shows, especially for the teens. Because I'll say it like with everyone, Eternals would have been better as a TV series. Kings, by any chance, can you look up what the actual date of Summerween is in Gravity Falls? Like, did they actually specify a date? Because that's been nagging on me, because like Fame mentioned like before July 4th, like when could it actually be? And I'm like thinking, like, did they say in Gravity Falls what Summerween date was? And that's been like scratching at the back of my brain. So let's see, yeah, that's before, that's like smack dab in the middle. That'd be perfect for Summerween.
Exactly.
For July 25th, the only other movie that catches my attention that I want to look and see if it has a summary of is Folk Tales. Because I always love learning the history of a place. So let's see if it has a summary.
And of course, this is all the theatrical releases. This isn't a list of everything that's coming out, like on like the streaming and whatnot. Alright, so teenagers attend a folk high school in Arctic Norway, relying on themselves, peers, and sled dogs as they navigate the paths of adulthood and uncharted personal growth.
Not what I was hoping for.
Oh, it's a documentary.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be like, these are the folk tales of this location.
Yeah, I knew this name was going to be misleading the moment I saw the word folk tales. It's not what we thought it was. I knew it wasn't going to be that.
Well, that's a bit disappointing.
A comedy horror. Oh boy.
Go ahead and click it. I want to see if there's any information. If you don't mind,
It's this one.
Okay. Years into their relationship, Tim and Millie find themselves at a crossroads. They move to the country with tensions already flaring. An encounter with an unnatural force threatens to corrupt their lives, their love, and their flesh.
Allison Brie, Dave Franco, and Damon Herman.
I just saw a red flag for me. Body horror.
Yes!
Because when that goes down... And, like, I'm not knocking it, guys. Like, when the effects are good, even if it's not practical, some of the CG artists who do the body horror, like, really put their all into it. It's
or
grotesque.
The actual artists that can use paint and makeup and make body horror.
All of it, whether it's practical or CGI, you guys are good at your craft. But it's exactly why you're good at your craft is why, like, I can't stomach it. And I'm usually not squeamish. I'm really not. Because one of my favorite horror movies is a grindhouse flick. I'm trying to remember the name of it. The main female lead was called Cherry. She ended up getting her leg cut off and ended up getting a machine gun for a leg.
I know that one, and I want to say Machine Gun Cherry.
That was her name. I'm trying to remember what it was called. But, like, I love that thing, and that literally had a dude that was cutting off people's and, like, he would, like, hold them up. So I'm usually not squeamish, but when it comes to, like, the modern day body horror, y'all hit it to a point where I'm like, okay, you did a good job because I'm grossed out.
The one problem is not just the body horror, it's the fact that it's a comedy horror. And the last thing I saw that was a comedy horror was the Hard Eyes Killer, and I wasted a hour of my life watching that absolute hot piece of garbage.
I haven't seen it, but touch base with me because I kind of want to know what went down with that. Yeah, how are you a comedy horror, yet you're a psychological horror as well as body horror? That recipe does not sound right.
July is just horror.
Again, Summerween. Hello to anybody out there that's listening to us right now. Summer Halloween. Put up decorations, throw out some candy to kids. Kids get some costumes. I don't care if they gotta put on the ones they wore last year. Let's get hashtag Summerween trending. Let's make Summerween, summer and Halloween mixed together, a real thing. Let's have like weekend Halloween parties. Let's have weekdays where there's Halloween movies coming out left and right. Let's have horror houses on the Thursdays, throwback Thursdays, some of the old-time horror houses. Let's make Summerween a thing. In this day and age, we need times to laugh. We need times to fun. Summer and Halloween mixed together for some real fantastic fun would be awesome. I don't even care if somebody manages to bring back those creepy ass clowns. Everybody remembers those things, right? Where people during Halloween or during the months of Halloween will start dressing up like clowns and stand in random places scaring the shit out of people. Who remembers that?
I do. My partner just came in with the win. The movie I was talking about was Planet Terror. I can't recommend it because purely it's a grindhouse flick. It's not something that just anybody could watch. I shared it with my partner because I wanted to see the reaction, and a shame we weren't doing these recordings years ago because that would have been hilarious. They were awesome. Second thing, Kings, if you could take a click of the AJ Goes to the Dog Park. It's a comedy. I want to take a quick look at this. When AJ loses his favorite dog, Park, he must fight, grab, scrape, and sap to get it back. It's a comedy. It kind of gives me like an Adam Sandler-esque vibe where trying to protect something like the community center, the rec center. I'm not really seeing a lot of actors I recognize in it, and especially like with comedy.
But the fact that one of the characters is named Demon Lord Korgalok.
What the f?
Or Kroglok.
Yeah, Owen Dennis as Demon Lord Kroglok.
Or would that be Kroglok?
I'm not gonna get into a pronunciation pitter patter. We'll like maybe if there's like I said, like maybe the trailer can sway us. If you want us to react to that trailer, leave a comment down below and maybe we'll do it. But speaking of trailers, I think this is a perfect segue to our next video recording. We are going to be reacting to the new animated Cat in the Hat trailer. I've been seeing images of it here, there, and everywhere. I have abstained because I want to react to it, and I'll save my thoughts on the Cat in the Hat and Dr. Seuss as a whole when we get to that video. But one other thing we will hopefully be bringing to you soon. I've done an unboxing video. My awesome partner has come for a visit and we've been able to get different manga and a bunch of other cool things. So I recorded the unboxing. We're going to record it and do some audio commentary. You might even get to hear my partner in the video.
But for now, we'll bid adieu on this video. We will try to record videos going through the other months. And like we might make this a little mini series of what's coming for the month and have each month have its own thing.
We'll see what comes out. We'll see what's new. We'll rant. We'll rave. You might hear me pop the off on something that pisses me off royally and decide to finally rip into somebody's ass and decide to rip it into multiple ways. But regardless, we'll always be keeping you up to date with what's new, what's hot, what's coming out. Speaking of what's coming out before we sign off officially, to any Marvel rival fans out there, let's hear it for Season 3. Oh my god, I'm ready for this! You have no idea how excited I am right now. I am sitting here, vibrating in my seat, staring at my Marvel Rivals game on my screen while trying to wait patiently for the right time for it to update. But right now, I'm chewing through my nails, just waiting. I am ready for symbiotes. I am ready for the Phoenix. I am ready for Season 3 is the season of the symbiotes, and I'm ready for symbiotes.
If you can't tell, Fame is a big fan of symbiotes. And if you don't know what symbiotes are, read the comics. Venom, Spider-Man. There's so many fun symbiote creations all across the Spider-Verse and in Marvel in general.
Venom is my baby, and I love him.
But we'll see you guys for the next
So signing off. Ciao, everybody.
So long, darlings.